Welcome to the Screen Rot Podcast, the podcast where we discuss the weirdest and worst content that's been rotting our screens and indeed our minds. I'm here with Jake Farrell.
Hello.
So, this is the third one in a row that we've recorded, and I don't think we're fatigued, but it is that bit of like, fuck me, what were we talking about?
We also obviously talk in between and before the recordings because we are, although it may not come across like that on the podcast sometimes, friends. So it's like extinct. Also, there's nothing grimmer, is there? We've done it a couple of times where you go like, don't tell me that, save that for the podcast.
Oh, don't. Yeah, I do this football show, the kickoff with Trudy.
Yeah.
Like, literally, we all walk in and we go, fucking hell, Tottenham. Oh, save it. Oh,
coming home to the missus. No, save it for later.
Yeah. I can't talk to you about this. I need to talk about Jake about it on the Screen Rock podcast.
I don't want to hear your opinions about the hardest geezer.
Who is Bobby Davro? Oh, mate. What's going on in your world? What you got coming up? What's happening?
What have I got coming up? We are going on holiday to Greece in June.
Oh,
already counting down.
You went last year, didn't you?
Went last year. Best week of my life. I've got to the age now where I don't want to do anything. Ever, ideally.
I think what you mean by that is you don't want to experience something new. You don't want to try a new place.
No, boy.
You got no sights you want to see, no walks you want to walk. You want to sit still,
100%
for as long as possible.
I'm going when the Euros is on as well. So I'm just going to be completely fried, just sat on the beach looking at my phone. Emma will be reading her book. She loves all that. And I'll be doing that.
Holiday during an international
I've got to the stage of my life where I am Googling, when I find out, we want to go to that hotel, I'm Googling that hotel's name plus the phrase Heinz baked beans to see if they do proper English breakfast. That's what I'm doing. I'm not saying, how close is that to the Parthenon? I'm doing, what's the bacon like in the morning? Because if it's like the European bacon, I'm not interested. I don't want to go there.
Mate.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's there is now 2 parts of the year. There's Greece in June, and then there's the long run until Christmas. That's it. Everything in between is just podcasting.
We're sorting out holiday at the moment, so we're going to go to Stygius.
Where's that? Oh, you've been there before. Is that the place? And is there like a festival for gay people or something?
Bear Week.
Bear Week. You can't go to that, mate.
I went.
You went
I've
before,
been to Bear Week.
But I mean,
I'm not taking my kids to Bear Week.
What are you doing?
So basically, it's a small town on the same coast as Barcelona, like 20 minutes outside of Barcelona.
Right.
And it's, me and my missus did it in 2019,
right?
Just before the pandemic, and we didn't know. Like we just wanted, like, we like the idea of doing Barcelona and then doing like a place on the coast somewhere warm to go and do like more of what you would describe and kind of chill out, do
sit
nothing.
Around, yeah,
exactly. Just found we're like, it looks a nice little town. Didn't realise it was Bear Week, right? Now, Bear Week is an international festival, not just for gay guys, but for bears. Big gay guys who've got a beard. So trains in Spain, good trains. 2-story.
Nice.
Like a double-decker bus.
Yeah.
The train out of Barcelona. So we're there, getting on the train, air-conditioned, cheap, it's like €4 to get down the coast.
They know what they're doing.
Fucking 20 quid to get up to Stevenage from London.
Right.
Anyway, we're waiting. Just hordes of these huge guys in tiny shorts with big beards just getting on this train.
Hot dudes.
Weird. Anyway, get there, realise it's Bear Week. I mean, it's like walking down, for me, and I'm a twink.
Right.
Yeah?
Famously.
Like in terms of like how you'd categorise, I'd fall into twink. Can't grow a beard, long eyelashes, sort of, if anything, pretty. Do you know what I mean? So I'm a twink. Yeah. And mate, I've got to be honest with you, I was playing up to it.
You liking it? Liking the attention.
The bears were sat either side of these. It's a tiny little, nice little town. Little cobbled streets, bars and cafes.
How
everywhere.
did it start? Did you do an investigation into the history of it?
No, man, we just accepted it.
I wonder how they first do that. I wonder.
I don't know, man.
Is it one of those where like a few groups of bears coincidentally go on holiday there, and then they're like, we should do this again next year, and it just kind of grows organically?
I don't know, man. But
I don't know.
I mean, it was like running the gauntlet, walking down the street.
Yeah,
it was like either side of the street were just these big bears. They're all like puffed out by the heat, sat down on these little things, drinking beers and cappuccinos.
Sounds fantastic.
And I'm just like prancing around in my little like Adidas shorts.
You famously do like to keep a low profile and not get everyone's attention as well. So I can imagine how that went.
Jakey, no. It was funny, man. It was really funny. And what was quite funny,
Anyone got a stage around here? I've got an hour about body positivity.
There were stages. Probably, I wasn't going near it, but it was like partying. It was like DJs and stuff. And my mate Matt wound us up. He was like, mate, go to this one bar on the beach, ask for a fruit cocktail. It'll give you the best gear you've ever tried.
Oh, okay.
Fucking cut to me and Lana, half cut, being like, fruit cocktail. Wink, wink, Pedro, fruit cocktail.
Man,
and
never
then
been
this
there
guy
in his
just
life.
being like, who the fuck are you? What are you talking?
Yeah, that's amazing.
But yeah, we got involved with the Bears, all had a good time. Got drunk. Anyway, we're going to go back.
You're going to go back?
But not in Bear Week.
Not in Bear Week.
Just go with the kids. Do that. Yeah, I can't wait.
And then when they're of an age, you can take Lua back there and say, Lua, this is where me and your mum pestered this poor barman for a fruit cocktail. And after that, I was prancing around asking people if I could tell jokes when they were just trying to have a nice bear time for Bear Week.
Bear time? No, trust me, bear time. You don't want to get too involved. Anyway, that's our holiday plans.
Other notifications, bits of admin for the Rotters. 8th of August, keep it free in your diary. It's going to be a live show. Jacob let slip during the last record who was going to be there. Or Bobby Davro might also be there. Bobby Davro might be there in place of me if this carries on at the rate we're going. It will be in London, won't it?
Yep.
In North London.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say where it's going to be?
Yeah, why not?
It's going to be at the Bill Murray in North London. Keep it free for your diary. It's going to be nice and kind of affordable to get in.
Yep.
35 quid. There's going to be a 3-course meal cooked by El Burrito Monster.
And Hardest Geese is going to do a talk about resilience at the end.
Have you got mental health? Do you live in North London? So that's one other piece of admin. Other key bits of admin. Give us 5 stars, you dirty little goats. Come on, give us a little 5-star on Spotify, one on Apple Podcasts if you can.
Yeah.
Send us a message on Instagram telling us you love the podcast. It keeps us going. What else?
Coming.
Patreon's coming.
Patreon will be pretty close at this point, so you can start paying and getting extra content, extra episodes.
So basically, the thing you should know is as well, we're building to a number that we want to get to, and then we're going to do the Patreon. We're getting increasingly close to that number. You can get to that number. You can get extra content by recommending us to a mate, making them follow us on Spotify, making them follow us on Instagram. You have the power in your hands to hear us talking about Mango the cat for 1 solid hour. Is that what you want? If so, yes.
And Bear Week.
And Bear Week. We've got stories about Bobby Davro that would make your toes curl that you can only get on the Patreon if and when it comes, which is down to you. Anything else?
Jacob 30, if you want to grow your hair back, dents.co.uk. You can order some topical finasteride, no side effects, and makes your hair grow back. Done. This week, we're talking about one of the goats of food content, in my opinion. Someone who's been doing it for a while, someone who's gone down the classic influencer path of now having kind of like his own brand of food that you can buy at certain vendors. But also someone who... from across the pond in Ireland, and I think
across the pond usually means America, but
across the slightly smaller pond. This week we're talking about Nasty.
Come on.
Oi, get on this,
please.
Nasty 2K is proof that you can become a famous food content creator with the most disgusting food in the world. Nasty 2K. The way a lot of people will know this guy is the Spice Bags guy.
The Spice Bags
guy.
So
he's an Irish guy. I think he's based around Dublin, and he's like, chipper on a Saturday, I've come to Pekin House and we got a spice bag. Now the spice bags are kind of like bags of sort of miscellaneous salt and pepper fried food from a Chinese that he mixes with egg fried rice, adds sweet and sour sauce and curry sauce. It's absolutely revolting. And he films this, sticks it online, and it's gone nuts.
It's gone mental.
He's also started. He does fish, not really fish and chips, but he does chippers.
He does
fish and chip shops where he gets burgers and stuff. And his thing is he likes to mix in garlic sauce with ketchup to make his special nasty sauce. He was a rapper.
That's something a fucking child would do, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Daddy, I've made my nasty sauce.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this guy's made a career out of that now.
We love it. People are doing it at the weekends.
So we love it. And anyone who's watched this stuff, I guarantee everyone who's watched this at some point would have gone, "Oh, I wouldn't mind a spice bag."
Yeah.
Had you seen this guy before I sent him to you?
I had, yeah, because I think we touched on this a couple of weeks ago, but he's from the Republic of Ireland, but he has I would say a Northern Irish end of the spectrum, wherever he's from. He's kind of like that. It's quite a brogue, isn't it? But
yeah.
But anyway, I think the Irish accent in general, Republic or Northern, quite intimidating. And this man is effectively reviewing bags of chips, but it's like he's trying to buy a handgun in a pub. And that's how I knew him, because every so often he'd pop up on like my reels of him being like, I've come to this place in the middle of nowhere to try their spice bag, and if it's no good, I'm going to put a fucking brick through their window. That's the vibe, I think.
Yes.
But what is really amazing about it is that, and I was about to say this is one of the best things about the internet, and I can't, when I say what's next, you'll realise how mental
actually
that is.
dreadful.
It's like the kind of globalization of very specific food trends.
Yes.
Is an amazing thing. Like, I know what a spice bag is. I know what the chipper is. If it was in the 70s, growing up in Stevenage, I wouldn't have had a clue what
10
any
years
of that
ago.
stuff.
10 years ago, I wouldn't have known what a spice bag is.
Do you, how many people do you think are getting bothered by East London hipsters going into the chip shop in Hackney and going, can I have a spice bag, please?
Well,
like
I don't know about
Nasty
the chip shop in Hackney, but I can tell you this. In July of last year, there was me and 10 other dickheads from Stevenage bothering fish and chip shops in Dublin
for a spice
asking
bag.
them for spice bags. We went on a stag do. It's my mate Ginger John. It was his stag, Dublin. Fucking his pal, my pal Ben. I don't know how many of these lot listen to this.
Like, maybe don't fully identify him then.
Well, no, it's not about identifying them. I don't mind saying their names. It's just letting them know how I feel.
Oh, so he's not done anything
Fucking
illegal.
Dublin stag.
Right.
Dublin stag.
Tough.
Shit. Absolute shit.
expensive,
Okay,
right?
so let's get into this then.
Okay.
You're Irish descent.
Yes, on my dad's side, yeah.
So I'm Irish on my mum's side. My missus is Irish. My kids have got Irish passports. I go back to Ireland quite a lot. I don't mind. Ireland's a shithole. Ireland's so shit.
That is not the view of the other employees of Screenwrite Enterprises, which are me and Mango, by the way. Mango loves
hates
Ireland.
it. It's so bad. I cannot tell you how bad and miserable Ireland is. And,
Oh my God,
and
you
it's not
can't
their
say
fault.
that.
I can. It's not their fault. They've got a housing crisis worse than ours, so it's more expensive than London.
Horrendous.
Dublin is more expensive than London.
Yeah, I'd imagine
the
they live there for
food,
it, yeah.
the food and drink in Ireland, you cannot believe how expensive it is.
Right, okay.
You can, especially when you want to fucking stag do in Temple Bar. Do you know where Temple Bar is?
yeah,
It's
I know
like,
Temple Bar,
but
yeah.
also Temple Bar, like, and my missus is Irish, by the way, and she accepts this. I've said this to her, and she's like, yeah, that's fair enough. The way the Irish will bastardise their own culture to be able to sell it to tourists is something that no other culture in the world does. No other part of the world takes the piss out of themselves. You can't go to Edinburgh and there's a street where everyone's wearing, what's it called? The sort of tamage,
with the ginger hair
the
poking
ginger
out.
hair underneath, playing the bagpipes and serving you haggis. No, there's no one in Edinburgh.
I tried that, by the way. I got my teeth knocked out.
Yeah,
so you don't want to...
nowhere in Edinburgh does that.
Right.
You can't come to England and there's a whole street of us all dressed like fucking like Victorian Cockney,
Urchins.
like urchins
So is that a thing?
selling jelly deals and fish and chips.
Are they doing a bit of like leprechaun stuff then, are they? or-
Mate, they're just fully bastardising their own culture. Be like, welcome to Temple Bar. We'll play the music for you. You can have a Guinness because that's what Ireland's like, isn't it?
But isn't
It's
that just
not.
what is happening though?
No. It's like they're taking the piss out of themselves to be able to
Right.
sell it to you. It's
see.
like, you think we're all a load of drunks who just listen to the flute? Well, we will for you. It's fucking embarrassing. It rains constantly. Like it's politically fucked. It's so bad. I grew up, so I never
Other
went.
than that, you like it.
I never went back to Ireland when I was young. My mum grew up there, moved
Yeah.
to England with her mum and blah, 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 blah. And she used to go back a lot when she was younger, and she never did. And growing up, I was like, you used to always go, why don't we go back to Ireland? You know, my mum had loads of family, and I was like, why did we never go? Then I got with my missus, started going back to see her family. I'm like, this is why we never went.
Right.
It's miserable.
But do you not think that you... Because my recollection, I haven't been for many years, but we used to go to see family in the summer, and my recollection of it is just... the family part of it is lovely, though, because you just go round, and everywhere you go, everyone's giving you tea and cake like it's going out of fashion.
Yeah, I know, but this is the problem, and then maybe this is more specific with my missus' family, the tea and cake thing, 100%. And you know my best mate, Matt, so my best pal's got an Irish wife as well.
Yeah.
Their best mates are wives. Anyway, he has the same thing as me, as we can't go back, because what they do, they live in the West, right?
Right.
My partner and Matt's partner's families, they live in the West. They live in these, smallish houses where there's nothing around, in the middle of fields. It's so rural. There's not even a proper road to get to these houses.
No spice bags.
Yeah. But there's just nothing.
Right.
It's you can't walk to town. You can't walk to a shop. There's just nothing.
No.
There's the house and then fields that are being rained on. And what they do is they sit you down, overstimulate you with caffeine and sugar, and then you've got nowhere to go. He goes for runs when he goes back. He has to run around the fields just to burn off the caffeine and the frustration of being locked in this little house with rain pouring on the window. You're constantly too hot because they have these log fires. So it's not like you can just go turn the thermostat down. It's like, well, what are you going to do? Take the fucking burning log out and put it on the floor. So it's so hot.
Something to do.
You're full of caffeine because they keep giving you fucking tea and coffee and sugar, and you just sat there going... nowhere to go. It's unbearable. And so Nasty.
Well done. You brought it back. That's good.
Yeah,
good work.
I'm trying before this just becomes something that my missus leaves me over. Nasty. So this guy Nasty. So what is he? He's an Irish lad.
Yeah.
He goes and watches his team. I don't even know who they are. He says up the Bohs. I don't know who the Bohs are.
GAA, right? Yeah.
It's not GAA.
Oh, it's not GAA. It's football. Okay.
It's football. It's soccer. He loves his team. But he loves a takeaway. Now, we'll watch the first one of this, man. To anyone who doesn't know who he is, we'll watch him. And this is kind of... I think this is quintessential...
This is a good starting one. This is like the essence of Nasty takeaway reviews.
That's flipped it.
A curry on a Saturday night, we've gone to John's Kitchen in Kimmage. Just a quick note, you wouldn't want to be in a rush if you're getting nothing from here. Took about an hour and a half to arrive. Anyway, it was nice to see after last week's antics, we finally got a decent sized spice bag. In a bag as well.
Chips.
None of this boxed up bollocks. I can't quite describe it, but the sauces were not up to scratch. I can't put my finger on it, but they tasted like they were weeks old. They might have to look into that. Anyway, seeing as they've restored my faith in spice bags, at least temporarily, I'm going to be generous. 6.8. Up the balls.
Okay. Now, the food he's just served onto his plate, to call that Chinese, I think might be a bit of a stretch.
It's chips, yeah.
It's chips, fried chicken,
and
rice, and it's the most beige concoction of food I've ever seen in my life. Then, for anyone listening who can't see what he's just done, he's absolutely doused it in both curry sauce and sweet and sour sauce at the same time.
Is that and so I've watched a few of his videos, but is that a quintessential part of a spice bag? You have to have both, or is that something that just Nasty does?
I don't know if the spice bag is a thing. I think he might have made it up.
Okay.
That's only from my experience. As I say, I went on this stag do last summer to Dublin.
And you've piled into a chipper.
We were fed up. Mate, again, it's fucking July. You don't know how to dress because it's pissing it down outside, but it's kind of 20 degrees.
Okay.
So you've all got coats on. You get in these bars, you're just getting plastered with fucking Guinness. You're all borderline shitting yourself because you've had 12 Guinnesses.
Yeah, not good.
And we're in this bar called Copperface Jack's. I can't just. It's traditionally for police officers. Anyway, me and the boys are sat there being like, more Guinness or spice bag. So we file out. We're walking around the streets going, mate, where can we get a spice bag? Everyone's going, what? Huh? Spice bag? Huh? What? And they sort of vaguely point us in this direction, in this chip shop that does Chinese food. Spice bag, please? Can we have a spice bag, mate? He's like, this gives us rice, chips and fried chicken.
Okay, you communicate to him the constituent parts of the spice bag.
Mix it all together. I mean, I just get some prawns and then we mix it all together, pour it all on, forks in and go, yeah, well, that's fucking disgusting, and we're 50 quid down. He's a genius. I honestly think there are social media companies around the world who'll be watching Nasty going, oh my God, this man's a genius.
He's a food product genius.
Because he's filming something that is so objectively disgusting that even as you watch it, you kind of find it disgusting. Yeah. Like, watching that right now, I'm like, of course, that's rank.
The two sauces is particularly tough. I think.
And then I walked out of my best friend's stag do to seek this food out. I walked through the rain to find it. It is such an incredible measure of how effective advertising and marketing can be. I left my best mate's stag do. My
What do you
oldest
think
friend
it is
in the
about
world.
it, though?
I
Why?
don't know. I don't know whether it's the colours. I don't know whether it's his voice.
Just pure lizard brain.
I have no idea. There's something about that's ticking things in my brain that I left Ginger John's stag. All of us did. All of his mates. He sat there on his own. No, he sat there with his uni mates. His oldest friends left his stag do. Not even late.
Oh
like
my
11
God.
o'clock at night.
That is the most Stevenage thing of all time. You are in a kind of rocking Irish pub. There's the traditional music going. There's the most beautiful pints of Guinness ever. He's sat there going, I couldn't be more content. All of my best mates in one room. All of the uni lads are sat there. They're chatting. They're comparing. They're comparing mortgage rates. They're talking about where they're going in mainland Europe for their holidays. The Stevenage lads, en masse, by the way, get up and go to buy a thing that none of them want to buy.
And it was like the scummy ones as well. It was me, Big Dave, Malcolm, and Peter.
Nice.
And we're like the Olsey boys.
Yeah,
we're like the rougher ones. And
Don't look anyone in the eye. Where are you boys going? Go buy Spice Bag.
we lied to get out.
We're going to buy cocaine.
We'll be back, Brian.
You didn't come back?
Well-
You were done. You were knackered. After a
I
spice.
don't
There's no
want
coming
to
back
say
from a
too
spice
much
bag.
because I know Luke listens, one of the lads, and he'll confirm all of this. But yeah, it's just amazing from watching this fucking idiot. And we'll watch a bit more of this guy because I want to get more into him because initially he didn't show much of himself. The face thing of him being in front of a camera and seeing a bit more of him, that's more
recent.
Yes.
Now, I did just press a button that has made these go into a funny order. So this is a bit of a lucky dip here. I know it's not 3. Should we just go with this one? See what this one is? See what's happened? Which one are we looking for?
I'm out in the west of Ireland.
Okay.
Match day vlog. Are we happy with that one?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, So this is he's off to watch the Bohs. I don't know who the Bohs are. Bohs. That's his team. Should we Google that? Should we know this stuff?
Let's see.
Fuck it,
I'll
just
try and
keep
work
talking.
it out.
Twice. I love Galway. Feck it, I will say it twice. I absolutely adore Galway. But when the Bohs take over, it's business only. What you saw tonight here, ladies and gentlemen, was a prime example of Reynolds' ball. Right, there was a reason that Waterford are so devastated to have lost them. I would be as well. We were touch and go against Rovers, but there was no mucking about tonight. Great goals, great performance, and now I just need a great spice bag to top it off. Galway, I'll be back soon. Up the Bohs.
So he's always coming back to the spice bag, right? He's always
coming back to the spice bag. But I guess the reason I threw this one in there to show.
Oh, of course, Bohemians, the Bohemians FC.
Is that Dublin?
They are in Dublin.
Yeah.
And quite funnily, the first line of their Wikipedia is they are the 4th most successful club in the League of Ireland history. So there you go. That's the Bohs.
So he's become a blogger. Like a vlogger.
Right.
Like he's starting off just being some idiot on the internet who films himself pouring curry sauce and sweet and sour sauce.
A spice bag addict.
Yeah. And now people are interested because he kept saying up the Bohs at the end, which is of course the Bohemians, which we knew all along.
And now he's become like the bootlegger of the Bohemians.
He's a vlogger. Yeah, exactly. The other thing that I want to get onto with this, and can we have a quick look at the other videos just so we know which one's which? I just want to be aware of what I'm about to talk about next. Yes, okay, great. This is the one I want to talk about next. And this is going to sound like a really weird thing to say. This guy, and actually, you've said it perfectly. You called him the bootlegger.
Yeah, the Irish bootlegger.
And he kind of is.
Right.
In terms of like the bootlegger is a man who puts bad things in his system and then he films the after effects. Right?
Yeah.
In the bootlegger's case, it's alcohol. In Nasty's case, it's spice
bags.
Right. What I want to get to with this, I have never seen a man live the way he lives and look so good for
He looks
it.
fantastic.
He eats those spice bags and a lot of these food people, I don't think they eat all of it. Like, eating with Todd that we did an episode of.
Yeah.
He don't eat all that.
There's no way.
He's having a bite and giving it to someone.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone who would need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, El Burrito Monster has spoken about it in the past. Shout out Ollie. But we know that he doesn't eat all the burritos anymore anyway. I think he said that. I think he was like, I'm losing a bit of weight now. I don't eat them.
Not after the hospital
I have half
intervened.
and save it. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Nasty's eating all of it. Right? Because when he films himself, he's
not quite got over the... Yeah.
But mate... So in this is the thing he does, and you know how in England sometimes people go, "Oh, it's grim up north,"
right?
it's fucking grim in Ireland. Okay.
If there's one message Jacob wants you to take away from this podcast, and by the way, this will be the last one, because Conor McGregor, by the way, already after us. The entirety of the rest of Southern Ireland, including probably some of our relatives, definitely after us after this. I in no way, and I know Mango doesn't, because I've chatted to Mango at length about this, no way think that the Southern Ireland is bad. I think it's my homeland. It's a beautiful place. It's so just bad. Jacob that doesn't like it.
And do you know what will upset them more? And by the way, it's 100% true. Belfast is fucking loads better.
Oh my God, you idiot! What are you doing?
It is. It's so good. Anyway, this is so grim the way he lives. And he looks so good, and I have no idea how. So this is when he's not eating spice bags. This is what Nasty eats.
So he's kind of slightly morphed into content where he's making it himself using ingredients from the shop. This is what Nasty eats when he's not doing spice bags.
That time again. Your midweek dosage of the 550 sandwich maker.
Look at the
cannot
shape
possibly
of it.
Overstate the absolute masterpiece I've pulled off for you today. It was only a matter of
noodles.
time before I stocked back up on the Coca noodles. I ran short there for a while,
noodles.
and we've used them here to provide a reliable bottom base for this.
That's going into a
double-decker.
buttered sandwich in a
Coca noodles
toasty
on their
maker.
own are always great
Jesus
news. But when you
Christ.
throw a few Frankfurter hot dogs into the
Chopped
mix,
up Frankfurters and
cheese,
sliced
and a pot of
American
McDonald's
cheese.
Oh my
curry
God.
sauce,
Now
you're
packet
talking a tough
curry
game to
sauce,
beat.
and he's
Lump all
made
that
a
into the
toasty
550
out of
sandwich
that.
maker and just feast your eyes on the absolute carnage. The carnage store is going to be hotly contested this year, let me tell you. Up the Bohs.
So his thing is carnage, right? That's his
Absolute carnage.
and he's doing a spice bag a week plus this in the midweek. This is his midweek treat.
Mate,
but he looks.
I don't think this is a treat.
I looked worse than that on my wedding day.
Yeah, mate. I could pay 3 personal trainers. Shout out Theo White Fitness, who I am.
Yeah, we could have a concourse of
Nutritionists and trainers, and we could never get in that shape. This man,
He's eating noodle sandwiches.
He looks like a fucking wrestler, and he's eating a sandwich made out of sliced white, fucking instant noodles, Frankfurter's cheese, and copious amounts of butter. And he, as I say, he looks like a wrestler.
Yeah,
he looks like he
unreal.
could do 12 rounds with Mike Tyson next week.
Where do you think this kind of epic mealtime? The epic mealtime was the first one. We talked about those guys before. They used to do the mad shit, and they used to all of them used to be on that, like eating huge bacon burgers or whatever. This is how it's kind of gone forward. Is like people are reviewing every fast food shop on earth.
Yes.
Like what we didn't really clock in that first video is he's like, I've gone to the Chipper in Kimmage or whatever. Those blokes are not anticipating being on an Instagram account with 100,000 followers.
No.
He's just turning up in these little Irish towns and places outside Dublin or areas of Dublin and reviewing them. It's like, what has happened to fast food? It's gone mad, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Do you know what's interesting, actually? There's a guy who to sort of peek behind the curtain for people a little bit, we did some practice runs of this podcast.
Yes.
You wouldn't fucking believe it.
Imagine what they sounded like.
But also, we can't do the tech now. Like, what did we learn from these practice runs? Anyway, we did some practice runs, and we featured a guy who I don't know if we'll ever actually feature in an episode, but we did a guy called Heyman Food Reviews.
Although I wanted to talk to you about Heyman today, just in our real life. So let's talk about him now.
Okay,
But go on.
Yeah. Well, Heyman, he's a food reviewer, food blogger guy, right? He's got a good Instagram from doing that.
Based in like the Midlands and the North, and
I think he's actually based in High Wycombe, but
is he?
But he will drive around the country.
He goes all over
for
the place.
fried chicken.
Yeah.
And one of the comments he got the other day was like, "Mate, like, do a restaurant.
Yeah.
Do somewhere good. What is the obsession with chicken burgers?"
It's insane. And he'll turn up at some place there's just a chicken shop, like you say, in Derby or whatever, and he'll be like, it's not very good. And it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah. You pay £3.50 for 4 wings. What do you expect,
It's
mate?
a Dixie's chicken in Derby. It's not meant to be.
That is something that's really happened in the last year or two, is people are talking about fucking like kebab shops and Dixie's and places like that. I think, do you know what it started with? I actually think the originator of this kind of stuff was the Pengist Munch.
Yes, it was.
Do you remember that
You're
kid?
right, yeah.
There was a kid.
Didn't he have a mad like anti-vax? Or wasn't he like, I can't remember.
He's making
I thought
a
he got
comeback.
cancelled.
He's trying to make a comeback.
Oh, did he?
No, what actually happened with him? So the Pengist Munch, for anyone who doesn't remember,
He was the original,
It was this young kid, although I don't actually think he was a kid.
There was a thing at the time where he was quite small and he had like a baby face.
And he looked like he was wearing a school uniform.
It looked like he was wearing
but
a
he
school
was
uniform.
actually just wearing a shirt and tie.
He was actually 30 or
Yeah, no, he was a bit older. He had that. Who's that kid? That like Russian kid who always goes around with like the UFC fighters.
Oh,
But he's got
Hezbollah.
But he's not actually a kid, is he?
No, he's like 19, yeah.
No, he's older than that.
Hezbollah?
He's like nearly 30.
Oh, I thought Hezbollah.
And I saw this if everyone knows who Hezbollah is,
Everyone
right?
knows
He's
Hezbollah.
like the kind of, I think he's from like the southern parts of Russia.
Yeah.
You know, he's got some kind of.
He's got some connection to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Yeah.
And he's got a condition where he looks
like a tiny.
He's very
little
small
lad.
and
Yeah.
he looks like a
But
kid.
he's hilarious.
I saw this really funny video where Mike Tyson thought he was a kid. Like he
Oh,
thought he was
really?
like a 4-year-old or something, and like picked him up and started like kissing him and cuddling him. It's like a 28-year-old man. But basically, where was I going with this? So Pengis Munch was almost, I don't think he actually had a condition. I think he was just a shorter guy with a fairly kind of like juvenile
Odd
voice.
facial
But he looked like he was wearing school uniform. And he'd always go first, crep check. And he'd show his trainers, and then he'd do like a sort of Jay Rayner style serious review of, you know, Eden's Chicken or whatever. And that has now spawned into these thousands of guys.
None of them are safe. Yeah, you
John
could be
the
a chipper
Food
in the middle
Don.
of Ireland.
This is it. Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? I've just remembered. I think the original moment that Screen Rot might have been born. I don't know if you remember this. This is probably about this. Yes, could be like 10 years ago. You and I were chatting on WhatsApp, and I was watching a video of the Pengis Munch on YouTube in like horizontal. And I was sat at my desk at work at lunch watching it, and I got a WhatsApp notification where I could see the first line of the message, and it was from you, and it said, "Are you watching this new fucking Pengis Munch video?" And I managed to get a screenshot of it, and I sent you the screenshot of me watching the Pengis Munch video.
I remember that. I remember this.
God, he was the beginning of it all.
We were destined for this.
God, at the time, Pengis Munch was like the most cutting edge of mad content, and now
He fell out with his
remember.
editor. What
Was that
happened
what it was?
I think he started earning a bit of money because it was actually really well edited.
Yeah.
And then he fell out with the editor, and then where his other videos weren't
Like he
edited well.
said, I don't. Maybe he did. I feel like he said something incredibly
Listen,
questionable.
they all do.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. We spoke about some food content creators on it. John the Food Don's talk about the lamb ribs being as big as his cock. They're all. And I mean, Nasty. Listen, Nasty.
As far as we know,
Well, we don't know much
Just likes
about
his
him.
football.
He used to be a rapper.
did he?
Yeah, he used to the reason
always start as
the
rappers.
reason his name is like NASTI_2K.
Right.
It's because that was like his rap name.
I see.
That's all been binned. That's all gone off of his profile.
just a spice
now.
bag guy
And it's,
now.
he's just and we'll get into now the final video because what he's done, and this is exactly what happened with #Brady.
Yeah.
Is these kind of like fast food restaurants are like, oh my god, this is how we
This is how you make money.
This is how we make money, is we get this guy involved. So he's now, as I said earlier, one of the things he does when he does certain types of food is he loves garlic sauce mixed with ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
So he's now made his own kebab
Fucking
with this like kind of like,
mini chain.
you know, GDK.
GBK?
Is
Oh,
that
yeah,
the
yeah,
gourmet
yeah.
doner kebab place in the UK?
Yeah, right.
So there's like an Irish equivalent of that.
I see.
And they've given him his own kebab.
And this is Nasty doing a bit of promo for his own signature kebab. Again, he looks fantastic.
And I've teamed up with the lads here at Abracababra.
Abracababra.
Different to what you've seen before. So
Completely
we'll start with
different.
the flatbread. Reminds me a bit
Okay.
of full
It's pretty traditional.
Right. Now it's time to cut into this bad boy.
So we'll go with a bit of slow roasted lamb doner. And then we'll go
still
with
pretty
some
traditional.
marinated
Yep.
chicken shawarma.
Bit of cheese. And this is
Cheese
where
in
we
the
get our
kebab now.
Bacon.
Bacon in the kebab.
Time to get saucy. We're keeping our signature sauce combo, but this isn't the red sauce you're used to. And as always, we get lashes of garlic sauce.
So he's got
No
cheese,
shying away
ketchup,
whatsoever.
garlic.
And to top it off, more cheese.
Jesus.
Absolutely scintillating. Time to tuck this to bed. Now, if you're not feeling that as a flatbread, you can also get it as a pita or as a nude box, served on a bed of chips. But if you're acting like yourself,
Served on a
you'll
bed
go
of
for the
chips.
flatbread. You can now get your nasty kebab at any Abracababra nationwide. Up the mouth.
Now,
It's mad.
I did some research
Yeah.
into the origins of the kebab, and there's mixed information online. And there's in the same way that actually jollof rice, there's arguments about which parts of Africa that originated from.
Oh, really?
The original home of the kebab, it's debated whether it's from Turkey.
Oh, the doner.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the origins of this kebab. I was like, I
sorry,
can have a
sorry.
bloody good guess.
Yeah, the mind of a fucking lunatic. No, basically they agree that it might have come from the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
Now I like to imagine if you went back a few thousand years and met like the Ottoman Emperor and was like, sir, the kebab, our delicacy. Yes, the doner meat that's cooked with the lamb. And
Prepared by my trained chefs. All they do is make doner kebabs for me, the Ottoman Emperor.
Yeah, and it's delicately spiced lamb on a bed of, salads and
homemade bread,
the yogurt that we make from the dairy, and delicately made chili sauce. Do you know what's going to happen, Emperor, in a few thousand years' time? Well, a man from Ireland. Where's Ireland? It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
He's going to fill it with cheese, and then more cheese, and then bacon. But we don't eat the pig. It doesn't matter if we eat the swine. He doesn't care about halal.
Yeah.
He's going to put bacon in there.
He doesn't care about anything.
He's going to put fucking ketchup in there, and then more cheese, and then roll it up, and then he's going to eat enough of that he becomes viral for it, and somehow be in the best shape of his fucking life. It's like the way he's bastardized, and I think this is kind of telling of the culture that we live in nowadays. Like he bastardized the Chinese food, did something disgusting to it, and yet people want it. I've seen videos where Abracadabra, they've got him out on the street,
giving away,
and the amount of like young Irish lads who are all wearing kind of like matching tracksuits coming up being like Nasti, and he's like handing them out, and he's going, who wants a kebab, lads? And he's going, what would you give that out of 10? And they were going, 10.5, 11 out of 10. And he goes, and what would you say? And they go, absolute carnage. It's like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? It's insane. Abracadabra have hired Nasty to fill kebabs with cheese, bacon and ketchup.
Like a breakfast
cheese,
kebab.
Bacon and ketchup. And he's walking the streets of Dublin in the rain, giving them out to children.
Yeah, I've come around. I don't like Southern Ireland either.
Thank you. I'm not here to slag off Ireland. There's some beautiful bits of Ireland, not in Dublin. There are some beautiful bits of Ireland. There are beautiful bits of Ireland. What Nasty represents is a younger generation of Irish men who do not give a shit.
Yeah.
One thing that's happened in Ireland is the McGregor-ification of young men. Right,
God, we've had too many bells today. That deserves another bell. But
they don't care.
No,
right? Conor McGregor has influenced an entire generation of young Irish men who don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They just want to get jacked. They want to get hench, and they want to do whatever the fuck they want. And if anyone tries to tell them, they're going to say, "And guess what? I apologise for absolutely nothing." You can't put cheese and bacon and ketchup in a kebab.
I do what I fucking like.
Yeah, and I apologise to absolutely nobody. I'm going to kill Jacob Hawley at his Dublin tour show, and I'm going to apologise to absolutely nobody. This is what I mean, though. Like, I think Ireland, to be more honest, has been ground down. There's been a recession. There's a problem with the housing market.
The brain drain.
People who Ireland was a rural country where you would grow up, you'd own land, you'd develop things, you'd grow things, you'd make things. That's all gone. It's been destroyed by Leo Varadkar, and now all that's left is the only hero they've got is Conor McGregor, and what's he teaching them? Don't give a fuck about nobody.
Yeah.
If you want to be a star, you go out there, you get curry sauce and sweet and sour sauce, mix it together, eat it. That's it.
And a man eating noodle sandwiches.
Noodle sandwiches, fucking ketchup and cheese in your doner kebab. Who cares?
Well, we love Big... I was going to call him Big Nasty then.
Big Nasty, slightly different guy. Also doesn't care. I bet he wouldn't mind a bit of cheese in his kebab either.
Nasty, we love Nasty's carefree attitude. We just hope that it can be harnessed for good.
Nasty is a product of a country who gave up, and there is no more male role models, right? And what's happened is young men like Nasty, they're big, they don't give a shit, and they're doing whatever the fuck they want. And more power to him.
Yeah.
I say more power to him. I really like Nasty.
We hope that we can one day have the fuck you attitude instead of being the cowed little men we are.
Nasty's so influential that I left my oldest friend stag do early to go and eat food that I knew I wouldn't like. And what a man.
Is real power, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Up the Bohs.
Up the Bohs.